All right, everybody. Lots of exciting news tonight here on Dokkan. We got info for Vegito Blue and Zamasu, a lot of other really exciting information. We got to hop into this quick. So first up, how do you feel about the two versions merging? The schedules of the Japanese and international versions of Dokkan Battle will be unified. That's it, guys. They are finally catching global up. We do not have an exact timetable yet for when this will happen, but sometime in the future, JP and global will be unifying, and we will be on the exact same schedule. No more global first, JP first. It's all going to be at the same time. This is very exciting. We will have to wait and see what the fallout is to this on the global version. If they'll continue to give us peel-off packs and, exclusive tickets, things like that, it remains to be seen. The good news is that there's no more waiting. It's all going to be happening at the same time. Honestly, this is great. The versions have been getting closer and closer together as the years have gone by. I've almost said for a while that it's like, it wouldn't be very hard to catch them up if they wanted to. It's like, we act like the versions are a lot further apart than they are, but it's just a matter of reshuffling some of the smaller celebrations, because pretty much all of the large celebrations are shared at this point. So it's just a matter of reshuffling some of the smaller celebrations. Maybe we celebrate Tanabata as Global's anniversary, or maybe we'll just drop Global's anniversary, or who knows what they're going to do. Lots of speculation on this. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're excited for this, if you're scared for this. Let me know down in the comments below. Next up, we are getting new summon animations for the Zamasu and Vegito Blue banners. We're just going to go ahead and click through some of these real quick. They look pretty good. It's always great whenever we get new summon animations, so I'm looking forward to that. The banners go live in a few hours. I'm probably going to stream some Pokemon Emerald Randomizer until these actually come out. So if you've got nothing to do, you're buying time until the banners come out, be sure to drop by and say hello. Again, these summon animations look pretty good. They showed on... They showed in the video that there's like a time machine, like rewind animation, so that's pretty neat. I'm always great whenever we get new summon animations, so this is very exciting. Very happy about this. Next up here, we have a peek at the banners, and I will say I was pretty close, honestly, in terms of like the units that would be returning. I said that the New Year's and the the New Year's and the what's the other word I'm going for? New Year's and Golden Week units would return, as well as last year's. This is what we're looking at the moment. We got a new banner unit Mai on this banner and a banner unit Zamasu on this banner. Kind of unfortunate because they are easying the AGL Zamasu and the Int Mai in this celebration, but there's only a limited number of characters that they could have worked with. I know some people were speculating that they could have done like a Supreme Kai and Gawasu, like double Supreme Kai essentially, right? But like the Supreme Kai from Universe 7 and then the Supreme Kai from Zamasu's, they could have done like a duo unit of them, because that's like what this is right here. This art is them blocking the attack that Goku Black and Zamasu did on them. So they could have done that as a card art, but Zamasu pouring tea and, Mai is fine. We will check out their kits. I actually have not looked at them yet as of this video, but these look like good banners. Right now, just taking a look at it, they look decently even, but I will say that I think this guy's in contention for the #1 TUR, and I think this guy's in contention for the #1 TUR. So is this guy kind of, but I definitely like these two better than these two, just barely. But spoiler, I think I'm gonna like them a lot better than this guy. But we will get into that in just a second. This is nothing. All right, here we go. We have Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta. Their leader skill is pretty complicated, but we're going to go through it. Battle of Fate, Future Saga, or Power Beyond Super Saiyan. Key 3, 170% to stats. They give an additional 30% to characters who also belong to Realm of Gods or Time Travelers, okay? This is their normal leader skill. Then, down here, Super Class, Key plus 3, HP Attack and Defense plus 150%, and Battle of Fate, Future Saga, Power Beyond by Super Saiyan excluded. So I guess they just have to say, like, these three categories are excluded from this buff. Not sure why exactly. But the reason it does that is so that they don't get the additional 30% from the leader skill buff. So if you're just a superclass unit who's on any other category other than these, you'll just get a flat 150%. So if this doesn't make sense to you, I can try to explain it better. But essentially, this is the 200% leader skill right here, right? This is normal. What they're saying here is that superclass units that aren't on these categories get 150% of stats, which is good. The reason they have to exclude these categories is because if they were, probably because of the way the 200% leader skill works, if they were on these categories, they might get like this 30% or something. And I don't think they want to do that. So anyway, super attack effects, 12 key stacks attack, which is good, and then 18 key stacks defense. Pretty good. We'll get into how this actually all works together in a minute. Here's the actual passive. Activates entrance animation once only for free, so we just get the entrance animation. We get defense plus 100% and guards all attacks for 4 turns from the start of turn when there is another future Saga category ally on the team at the start of the character's attacking turn. So you need a future Saga category ally on the team. Right now we have Vegeta and Trunks. We have Blue Vegito. We have a few future Saga characters that are decent. We're also getting the Tech Trunks EZA. Mai should be EZAing. We have banner units. We have Merge Zamasu. This should not be too difficult to activate. Future is a little bit limited at the moment, but by the end of this celebration, I think it'll be in a pretty good spot. So I don't think this is going to be a big deal. Right here, key plus 3 attack and defense 100% at the start of turn. They get an additional 2 key per type key sphere obtained. This is excluding rainbow key spheres. They get an additional 50% attack and defense at the start of turn, and attacks effective against all types when there is a Realm of Gods category enemy. This will be good for the new future red zone. They get an additional defense at 100% at the start of turn, or 150% at the start of turn, and a high chance of dodging as the first attacker in the turn. So that's kind of like... that just kicks in. You won't actually see this until the key locks in and they're in slot 1, so you'll never actually see that 150%, but it will lock in once they go in slot 1 and all the key on the turn is collected. They get an additional attack plus 100% and defense plus 50%, and launch an additional super attack that's a high chance of becoming a super attack as the second or third attacker in the turn. This is probably where you want to put them most of the time, just for this additional, but the additional is only giving them an attack stack, so it's not like it's crucial to their well-being. And then they launch an additional super attack when key is 20 or more. Luckily, this is not a great chance. Everybody go tell Goresh that you're really happy that this isn't a great chance, and, he'll agree with you. One thing that you'll notice here is that they do not get any multiplicative buffs in their passive right here. The only multiplicative buff that they have is this stacking. So just keep that in mind. Special Fusion, perform Patara Fusion, can be activated when HP is 70% or less starting from the 5th turn. Or when there is a future Saga category ally attacking in the same turn, or a future Saga category enemy from the 7th turn. This is terrible. I'll tell you right now, this is awful. This is actually like the worst condition they could have given him. Like, pretty much. This, other than, like, can only be activated when there's, like, a Gawasu or something, like, horrible, right? But, like, this is, whenever you have HP plus a turn condition, this is bad. This could be okay for the new red zone. We'll see how long those fights go. But keep in mind, right now, the fights that we have are very short. You're not getting to turn 7, really, in the current 2 fights that we have. But maybe Merge Zamasu is designed to go a very long time. But as it sits, I am not a fan of this condition, especially whenever their defense here is kind of and that guard wears out after 2 rotations. So we will see. It's like you want to be transforming on turn 5, but will you be below 70% HP? Maybe. Links, Super Saiyan, Warrior Gods, Godly Power, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle, Prepared for Battle, Legendary Power. They're on 100 categories. These are their stats. And, of course, linking partners, they're a Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power unit. They will link well with pretty much anybody. So let's go ahead and look at their calcs real quick. Let me go over here. There we go. So we've got Goku and Vegeta. Pay attention to these yellow highlighted boxes, because that's where most of their differences come from in their passive. They have a lot of conditional things in their passive. They have the 4 turns that they are like the intro buff that gives them the 100% for 4 turns. They have the 50% when facing a Realm of Gods enemy. They have 150% when slot 1 or 50% when in slot 2. The only thing that's consistent is the 100% that they get for free that we saw right here. This is the only thing consistent in their passive. Everything else is very conditional. So right here, this is their defensive stat at 100% and 55%. I'll let you guys just kind of look at this and, pause the video, take a second to read through this, and I'm just going to go through how this is calculated. So we start out with their defensive stat. We multiply by 5 because, they have a 200% leader. They themselves are a 200%, so that's what we're using right here. Prepared for Battle is their only defensive link, so we multiply this number by 1.05. By the way, the reason we multiply by 5 right here is 200% plus 200% is a 400% boost, so this increased by 400% is this number. The reason it's multiplied by 5 is because you want to include this original value. So, you know, instead of doing multiplied by 4, like if you just multiply by 4 right here, that would just give you the boost that you're getting. You have to multiply by 5 to include the original number. Same thing here. That's why we do 1.05. If we just did 0.5, that would just give us like the 4,000, like 100 or whatever it is, stat boost, but we have to do 1.05 here. Anyway, right here, it gets a little bit more complicated, but for 4 turns, they get 100%. This one right here is to include the original value. That is to include the 84 in the calc. And then this part right here is what is actually active in their passive. So this is 100% at the start of turn. This is, or actually, I'm sorry, this is 100% for 4 turns right here, this first one. The second one is the base 100% that they get. This, 0.5 right here is 50% when facing a Realm of God's enemy, and this 1.5 right here is when in slot 1. So that's what their defense will be, and then they'll get a stack, and you know it'll go up 30%. It's kind of hard to do multiple turns of stacking with this unit because they have so many conditional things going on in their passive, but I think you guys can take a look at this and see 550k defense with guard after 1 stack is pretty good, so they're going to be in pretty good shape. And then right here, the only thing that I took, or the only difference between these 2 columns, this column is if they're in slot 1, this column is if they are in slot 2. So instead of getting 150% for being in slot 1, they only get 50% for being in slot 2. So you can see their defense is quite a bit lower, but they do get the benefit of additional attack stats, the additional super, and they are still guarding. 440k defense with guard is pretty good. None of this considers support, but most support would just be added into here. So like if I wanted to add, you know, 50% support, I would just do plus 0.5 or something, and then that's what it would increase to. But for now, this is what we're going to leave it at. Down here in this next section, you can see we just start taking things out of their passive. Down here, we take out, what do we take out? We take out the Realm of God's enemy. So now the Realm of God's enemy is gone from their passive, and you can see their numbers drop down a little bit. And then the last section right here is, let's see, this one. Okay, so this section is, they are facing a Realm of God's enemy, but the 4 turns have passed. And then down here is 4 turns have passed and no Realm of God's enemies. So, again, all on turn 1. So I guess this is just like without the intro buff. So no intro buff, no Realm of God's enemy. Again, it's a little bit complicated to calculate these guys because they are stackers, but you can see that like their floor, you know, at bare minimum, no intro buff, no Realm of God's enemy, 55% is about 200k defense with guard, with 1 stack. That is pretty good, I think. So down here's Vegito. We'll get to him in just a second. I'm trying to go through these quickly, guys. I'm sorry if I'm, you know, a little slow here. So, Vegito, same leader skill. His super attack effects do change. So now he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and lowers attack and defense. This seems pretty pointless. I don't know a fight where you're going to be able to lower attack and defense on turn 5. But hey, I mean, maybe. I don't know. But at least he gets this. This is important. I'm glad he has this. And then, what is this? Oh, I didn't see this. I actually have to adjust Vegito. Oh. Interesting. Okay, we're going to adjust Vegito on the fly. Give me just a second. Okay, we're back here. So, this means that he gets 100%, a 100% buff right here. This is crazy. This is a insane super tech effect, by the way. Yeah, this is... Wow. Okay. So he himself is getting 100% defense for on this super tech effect. That is crazy. This is actually like the best super tech effect in the game or something. I don't know. Like that's insane. Now keep in mind the way stacks work is that this won't be like a true double of whatever defense you see at the start of turn. It's still good, but the way stacking works is stacking is in the same bucket as this. I've explained this before, but the way like stats work in Dokkan, like multiplicative stats, is that you have separate buckets. So you have like the passive start of turn bucket, it gets multiplied by the passive like multiplicative bucket, which can be like getting hit, doing a super attack effect, dodging, anything like that. Like I don't want to say any action they do in the passive skill, but just think of that as like getting hit. Like whenever you get defense, whenever you get hit, that's a multiplicative buff in the passive. And then you have the super attack effect bucket, and all super attack effects sit in that bucket and add together. Everything in each bucket is additive with each other, and then multiplicative between the or like against the other buckets. So the stacks that you get, so he gets 30% on each 18 key super attack. So, like, let's say you do two 18 key super attacks before you're able to transform. You'll have a running 60% multiplicative buff built into your starter turn defense that you see. And so, technically, you would have to divide that out and then multiply by 2.6 for this multiplier right here. So, that is still pretty good, but it is slightly worse than just normal. So that's pretty good. Okay, so anyway, down to the passive. Key +5, always good to get free key. Attack and defense plus 250% at the start of turn, and additional 2 key per key sphere obtained. This is any key sphere now, rainbow included. Super effective against all types. 30% damage reduction before attacking. 20% damage reduction and a high chance to dodge as the first attacker in the turn. Oh, and launches an additional attack as a high chance of becoming a super attack as the first attacker in the turn. This is insane. Launches an additional super attack and a medium chance of launching another super attack as the second or third attacker in the turn. This is okay, but this is crazy. And then launch an additional super attack when activating the active skill or when key is 20 or more. This is pretty good. This is really good. Pretty low stats right here, but keep in mind he will carry over any stacks that he has from the previous form. The active skill can be activated when HP is 50% or less, or when facing one enemy whose HP is 50% or less. Causes ultimate damage to the enemy, and within the turn activated. So, like, for one turn, after you activate the active skill, you get a turn of guaranteed dodging. That is pretty good. Link skills do change quite a bit to just basic Vegito links. So Super Saiyan, Power Bestowed by God, Warrior Gods, Over in a Flash, Fuse Fighter, Legendary Power, and Fierce Battle. Sadly, he does lose out on Prepared for Battle. This kind of sucks, but I have a feeling that by the time you get this guy out, like, the battle's going to be close to over anyway, so pretty good. Still in the same categories, and then linking partners do change a little bit. Right now, he doesn't really have any great linking partners, is the sad thing, since he loses Prepared for Battle. That is a very important key link, and he does lose it, but he does give himself a ton of key, so that's good. I don't really have any complaints. Back over to his calcs, I did adjust these. So, again, start of turn defense is that. 200% leader skill, you multiply by 5. Link skills are Fused Fighter. I assume you're going to have this guy somewhere near the other Vegito Blue, the 5th anniversary EZA. So I figure you can get this. That's fine. He only has 250% at the start of turn. So that's that multiplier right there. And then he gets, so this, by the way, pay attention to the this right here. This denotes how many stacks he had in the Goku and Vegeta base form up here, carried over into the Vegito. So let's say you somehow transform him with 0 stacks. This would be his start of turn defense. And then in this case, in only this instance right here, would his super attack effects be direct to what you see. So you double it for the 18 key, and then you multiply by 2.5 for if he gets a double super attack. And then I don't really need to do any further calcs, I think. I think this is pretty self-explanatory here, what he's doing. This is pretty good. If he gets a triple, it's going to go up even higher, but I figured I would just stop at the double super. And, you can see here, if he has 2 stacks, his defense is even higher. And then 4 stacks, he gets up to 1,000,000. And then if you have like 6 stacks, listen, this guy's going to be really good defensively. That's what I'm going to tell you. Okay. And then these, like this line, is what you're going to see start of turn. But don't be lulled to sleep by that. This guy will get defense pretty rapidly. So there is Vegito. Next up, we do have Zamasu. Zamasu, Realm of Gods, Worldwide Chaos, or Fused Fighter, category Key +3, HP attack and defense 170%, and an additional 30% for characters who belong in Time Travelers or Final Trump card. Pretty good. Extreme Class Key 3, HP attack and defense 150%, and then the 3 categories up here excluded. We talked about why it's like that with the Vegito, or at least why I think it's like that with the Vegito. Pretty good. Because... Listen, it's fine. I guess, like, if they included these categories in this, then it would exclude them from this or something. I don't know exactly. Excuse me, dry throat. Super attack effects. 12 key, greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, lower defense. I mean, this sucks, but this is good. These 2 effects are good. Massively raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn, and greatly lowers attack. This is decent. You can actually get some use out of this lowering attack because it's on turn 1, and you can get some use out of that in several stages. So it's good. The reason Vegito's lowering attack is bad is because it's like on turn 5 minimum, and you're not going to be able to lower attack at that point in most fights. Passive skills, a little bit simpler, kinda, than Vegito. Activates entrance animation once only and gets 20% damage reduction for 4 turns from the start of turn, and an additional 20% damage reduction on the first turn when there is another Realm of Gods category ally at the start of the attacking turn, or on the team, it starts when this character appears if there's a Realm of Gods category ally on the team. So, right now, your main options are Fusion Zamasu, the Int one, and maybe Tech Goku Black and Zamasu. They can be decent so far in the new Red Zone stages because they do have they have some guard at the beginning of the fight. But yeah, like right now, Realm of Gods not in the best spot, but it is just Realm of Gods. It doesn't necessarily have to be Extreme Realm of Gods, which is good. So, this could be like Vegito, God Goku, different characters like that, which will, help you out. And then, the 40% damage reduction is really good because, we're just going to jump down here real quick and see that he has 40% damage reduction baseline. So he's going to have 80% damage reduction on his first turn, and then he's going to have 60% damage reduction on subsequent turns, or on the next turn, and then he'll drop down to 40%. So pretty good. Kind of like Golden Frieza in a way. And then his start of turn is key +6, attack and defense 100%. He gets an additional key +3 and attack and defense 50% when there are no Realm of Gods category enemies. So that's interesting. That's actually good for most Red Zone fights, but probably not the future Red Zone, which is interesting. So far that's only Cell and the androids. So, but I expect the continuing fights to be Realm of Gods enemies, maybe. So, maybe if there's like a Trunks, this would be good. But we will see how good this will be. I mean, at the moment, it's pretty good for most fights. So, that's fine. This just adds to this start of turn buff. The additional key is really nice. He has a high chance of performing a crit. So, I mean, it seems like additional or dodge is what you want to give this guy. Do not give him crit. He already has crit. We already saw this, 40% damage reduction. He gets an additional defense plus 50% when receiving an attack, and if HP is 70% or less, it becomes 100%. So that's how that works. These two would add together under 70% HP. I mean, that's pretty decent. He launches an additional attack. There's a high chance of becoming a super attack within the same turn after receiving an attack, and then he builds up 25% attack up to 150% with each attack received. This is pretty good. I think he's going to hit hard. That's what I'm going to say. This guy, I think he's well designed. He's probably either the best villain unit or the second best villain unit. Not like that's a high bar, but that is. I can just look at this and I know he's going to be pretty good. So he has the domain, the active skill, creates domain, infinite Zamasu, raises extreme class allies key by 3 and becomes omnipresent for 5 turns. Can be activated when HP is 70% or less, starting from the 5th turn. Starting from the 5th turn, or when there is another Future Saga category ally attacking the same turn, or a Future Saga enemy from the 7th turn. Same condition as Vegito Blue. We'll see how good that is. I actually have not really looked at it yet much. We will take a look here in a second. Link's skills are Big Bad Bosses, Fused Fighter, Dismal Future, Nightmare, Legendary Power, Godly Power, and Fierce Battle. These are his categories. These are his stats. His linking partners, we are really banking on this guy getting a crazy easy A. Because right now, maybe this guy will easy A too, and hopefully he would be good as well. But right now, there's not really many other good linking partners for him. At the moment, he does actually share the same name as the current Fusion Zamasu, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. These are his 200% leaders. Pretty good. Also, I don't think I showed Vegito's, but these are his 200% leaders. Quite a few 200% leaders. So, that's them. So let's get over here to Zamasu. Zamasu is pretty easy to calculate in comparison. No, don't. I gotta do. There we go. Okay, so here's his defensive stat. Also, don't be, there's a ton of extra lines down here. I'll get to that in a second. So there's his defense. Again, we multiply by 5. His link is Big Bad Bosses, so we multiply by 1.25. Again, pay attention to these middle columns. That'll kind of denote some extra, or I guess let's go ahead and highlight these as well. These kind of denote additional conditions. So pay attention to there, and that'll tell you like kind of what I'm doing for these super tech effects. But anyway, this is his start of turn defense right here on this line. This is what you will see start of turn. This is with no Realm of Gods category enemy right here on this column, and this column is with a Realm of Gods category enemy. So you can see his start of turn defense is not very good, but he does have a ton of damage reduction, and then he gets more defense whenever he gets hit. You can see it shoots up quite a bit. If you are under 70% HP, it'll double whenever you get hit. So that's pretty good. And then you get his super attack effects, which these are interesting. So he has on his 18 key, he has a 30% defense raise. We saw that right here. 30% right here on his 18 key. But on his 12 key, he does a 50%. So really, if you want to get this guy's max defense, you need to be going for his 12 keys and trying to get double 12 keys, because that'll actually lead to him having more defense. So I did kind of two scenarios here is what we're doing. So this is with one 18 key. This is with one 18 key and one 12 key. This is one 12 key, and then this is double 12 key. That's what's going on with each of these like effects down here. So if I like kind of like make these, oh, that's a terrible color. Let's do that. Oh, that's even worse. Oh no. Let's do that. There we go. Okay. So all of these, like we'll just highlight these as different scenarios. There we go. And then these. So I went over what the different scenarios are, but just to kind of make it more clear for anybody who might be confused. Ooh, that's a really bright orange. Red? Oh, that's terrible. Oh, no. It's because I have this in dark mode, so the colors aren't what they say they are. Guys, this is so hard. Can I just do, like, gray? There we go. Okay. So anyway, so this is one scenario in blue, and then this is, potentially a different scenario in gray. So he can get up to some pretty high defensive numbers. His floor down here seems like it'd be about 461k with 40% damage reduction, which isn't great. But I mean, his ceiling's decent, right? So I don't really know what to say other than I think this guy's going to be okay. I don't know if he's like the savior of Realm of Gods units or anything, but he is okay. That's what I'll give him. Next up, sorry, this is a really long video. We have Infinite Zamasu. So he greatly raises attack for one turn, massively raises attack for one turn. Okay. Nullifies all attacks directed at this character. I mean, that's pretty good. Key plus 4, attack plus 300%. Changes AGL and SDR key spheres to tech. Worldwide Chaos category allies defense plus 60% with 4 more tech key spheres. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. This kind of like reminds me of like a mix between a standby and a giant form. That's kind of what this seems like. I did see in the video that I guess this character still exists. Like it just becomes like a character, right? So you get like a free character slot like when this guy's activated. So that's interesting. And then he's like supporting. So I mean, this could be decent. We will see. We'll see how this plays out in game. I mean, nullifying all attacks is good. I mean, this is interesting. This is simple but interesting. Link skills don't really change. Categories are the same. But he does link with Merge Zamasu once he transforms, so that's interesting. I don't really know. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. We have Mai here. Leader skill doesn't really matter. Raises attack and defense. Seals, that's good. Key plus 2, 150%. Additional 50% attack and defense. 20% damage reduction when performing a super attack. So that's multiplicative. That's good. Launches an additional super that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack. Plus an additional 50% defense and reduces damage by 30% within the same turn. Every time the character performs a super attack 2 or more times in battle, up to... Oh. So she's like a slot 2 unit. That's interesting. Superclass allies, 30% attack and defense, plus an additional 20% attack and defense, and chance of performing a crit, plus 10% for characters who also belong to future category. That's okay. Changes physical key spheres to tech, or to STR. Changes tech to AGL, and superclass allies key plus 3 when HP is 50% or less at the start turn once only. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this is designed to work well with, like, a Trunks. Like, maybe we're going to get a part 2 Trunks that's, like, STR. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. This is odd. Links are just kind of whatever. And then here's her linking partners. She doesn't really have any. That I guess she has Bulma. Bulma's good. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know about Mai here. We'll see. Zamasu. If there's a super... Oh, God, he already sucks. Okay. Activates the entrance animation once only, and attack and defense plus 50% chance of evading enemy attacks plus 20% for the rest of battle. I mean, this is good right here. This is bad at the moment. 150%. Plus an additional attack and defense 50% chance of evading enemies' attacks plus 30% when performing a super attack. Key plus 1 up to 4. Attack and defense 50% up to 200%. Extreme class allies 30% plus essential 20% for future saga. Key plus 2 for 2 turns after. Full dodge for this guy, but they better give us some superclass enemy. That's all I'm gonna say is they better give us a superclass enemy for this guy. Let's hope that AGL Zamasu. Listen, we gotta hope. We gotta hope this guy's EZA is really good. So. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about Vegito Blue, Goku and Vegeta, and everybody in this data download. Sorry, this is a bit of a longer video, but there was a lot to cover, so let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.